we are talking about prospecting. Okay, so week one, just as a reminder, you can go back and catch week one at YouTube, Cuter Than the Most Accessories. I am a consultant for 12 years selling accessories. In that time, I have been able to grow and change lives in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico and Guam. And so I was a teacher, an elementary teacher, then I was a coach of teachers, and then I was a assistant principal. And for those who are always asking, like, how did you know it was time to go? When my business made more money than my assistant principal job while I was working full time, I said, I think I can pull this off, making even more money and changing even more lives if I didn't have to go to work every day. So I did that full time for 6 years, and I'm still doing that. And I want to share with you 52 weeks. And you're probably like, 52 weeks? I want to make money overnight. Well, you can make money overnight, but if you want to get to the level of boss status, of time freedom status, of changing other people's lives based on your example, or what I like to call hashtag I aspire to inspire through the way in which I live my life and grow my business, then you're in the right place. So I have broken down two of the books that have been very instrumental when I decide to change from just making extra money or a side hustle to actually building a business and making a priority to change other people's lives. So when did it change for me where I decided to change other people's lives? It is when my goal was to make an extra $1,000 a month. And that's how I found the business that I'm doing, is by Googling ways to make extra $1,000 a month. And when I made that $1,000 a month, I was like, I know a lot of people right now who could use an extra $1,000 a month. And so what I did was went on a mission to educate as many people as I could about what I was doing. And then I made $3,000 a month, and I made $5,000 a month. And I was like, you know what? I really need to not just keep this to myself and tell other people. So if you are in a position and you are looking for a way to make extra money, and then once you find that way and you are looking of ways to grow it, then you're in the right place. So to catch the replay, I'm going to recap and go through what I talked about on week one. You can go catch that at Cuter Than Most Accessories on YouTube. It's been uploaded. Week one is why. Finding your purpose for wanting to make extra money. Like, what is the reason behind it? And I'm not going to go into details, but it has to be greater than your children, okay? And then once you find that purpose, that reason for continuing showing up and being determined and pushing past the difficulties that are going to come, then week two, we talked about, gotta go to my notes here. We talked about business knowledge. You know why you're doing it. Now you need to know about your business. You need to know about the product. You need to know who your target market is, who are you going to be sharing this with. And literally this week we're going to talk about everybody. You share it with everybody and you let them decide if they want to be a part of what you're offering, service or product. So last week it was getting to know your business. And that was going to be found in getting over your damn self, because these 52 weeks are going to rotate between these two. This week we're going to talk about prospecting and getting your business out there in front of other people. So the first thing is create a list of 100 people. Guess what? If you are over the age of 18, you know way more than 100 people. And what usually gets us stuck is that we're trying to define for people what they need and what they don't need. We don't know what people need. I am here to tell you that the person, well, let's just go statistically, not my opinion. Statistically, about 50% of people who are six-figure earners are living paycheck to paycheck. So the people who you see on social media, in your churches, at the school, when you're picking up your kids in the line and you're wishing that you had their life, I'm telling you that they need what you have to offer. And the only way you know is that they end up on your list. So the first thing you do is identify various sources from which you're going to get these people from. So sources might be social media. If you have over 1,000 Facebook friends, 1,000 TT followers, or whatever, when you're watching this, whatever social media is big and popping at the time, then you know 1,000 people. They have come into your area by liking and following you, so you know them. So that is one area to get your list from. Then you can go back through all the jobs that you've worked. If you are 40, like in your 40s, like I am, I was a teacher and I've worked in different schools, ranging from South Georgia schools to Southside Chicago public schools to Metro Atlanta schools. And so I can go back and think of my principal, assistant principal, the bookkeeper, the front desk lady for all of those schools. Those people can go on your list. Other sources you can think about are if you have children and they played sports, or they did any after school or extracurricular activity. So it could be sports, it could be played an instrument, it could be tutoring company that they went to, all the things that your children have been involved in, there were parents there. Those names go on your list. Then you're going to think about broadly to expand your list. So your husband, if you've been married, your ex-husband, people who you think of that are related or come from that circle. So I unfriended and blocked plenty of people for my ex-husband because I was like, I don't need that energy. I don't need that space when I see them in my timeline, me thinking about and bringing up bad memories. So I exited a lot of them out. But there are some people who I stayed in contact with. When I think about places that we went together, like he ran a kickball league. There are women who I'm still connected with who are part of that kickball league. They can go on my list. I hope this is helping you get ideas of people that you know that can go on your list. No matter what business you're in, no matter what products you sell or what service you provide, these are people who go on your list. Then you're going to segment that list. So you might, by the time end of this, you might be like, oh my goodness, I have 200 people on my list. And if you have 50, you're not thinking enough. Or you're thinking, but what you're saying to yourself is, oh, they're not going to want it, or they're going to think I'm crazy, or they're going to feel some kind of way about me reaching out to them. I haven't talked to them. Nope. None of those thoughts. Literally, this list is just names and people you think of. Don't think, oh, I don't know how to reach out to them. I don't know their number. Nope. They're going on the list. Okay. This is part 3, week 3 of a 52 weeks building your business. Now, if you want all 52 weeks, you can text me the number 52 to 651 505 2883. So you can text me the number 52 to 651 505 2883 because you're like, Kirsty, I'm not waiting for you to give me each week these things I can do to take my business, transform my business, take it to a whole different level. No, I want it now. And while you're getting it now, you're also going to need these 2 books because in the 52 weeks, it is referencing these 2 books. So I have them physically, you're seeing them. I have them both on Audible too because I listen to them when I am exercising. I listen to them when I am driving somewhere. They're always in rotation. And literally, depending on where I am in life and where I am in my business or who I'm working with to help them grow their business, something will pop up. I'm like, ooh, need to apply that. Ooh, I need to coach somebody on that. Ooh, I need to teach that concept to my team members, okay? To my community of business bosses. So now you have your list and we're going to segment it. Put it in different parts. What does this segment look like? Based on their interests, based on their lifestyles, all right? So there are some people who are going to be on my list who my perception of their lifestyle is that financially they're doing well. So they may need, and why would I group them together? Because they may not be looking for extra money, but they might be looking for tax write-offs. So my conversation with that segment of my list may be different. Then from my perception, there are people who are going to be on that list who are in retirement age. So they're not looking for a new career, but they might be looking for something to supplement their retirement money. I was just talking to a lady the other day who was looking, she's like, I will be retiring in the next 3 to 5 years. I'm looking for something to supplement my retirement income. Well, the segment of my list, even though these are people who I may have known 20 years ago, if I add their age up, they might be looking for retirement ideas. All right. This is why we're segmenting the list. Another segment of the list could be people who have school age children. All right. I have this list and they have school age children. So they might be looking, like I've had experience with people who have done business with me who just started the business for money to pay for their kids' sports fees. All right. Their current lifestyle, their current career, how much money they were bringing in already provided for how much they needed for their lifestyle. So their career provided for their mortgage, their rent, their car insurance, their car note, their food and all that. But then they had like 4 kids. They were back to back, middle school and high school, and everybody wanted to do travel ball for basketball. If you can relate to that, thanks for the share. If you can relate to that, subscribe, follow, share all the things. If you can relate to that drop a number 1 in the comments, that you know people who have children who are doing all kinds of sports. You're probably like, how is that mommy doing it? Drop a number 1 in the comment right there so I can make sure I know who I am talking to. Well, this is different ways you can segment your list. So we have, perfect, I see you there, Jennifer, she dropped number 1. She knows people who have kids that are playing. You're like, how are they paying all these fees? They probably are picking up a side business, a side hustle, way to make extra money. And they should be on your list. Then you're going to revisit and refresh this list all of the time. This list does not stay stagnant. Like today, I woke up and part of my daily method of operating my business, things I do daily for my business. Thank you, Sherry. She dropped number 1. She knows somebody. Based on things I do every day is I add new friends and followers on social media. So as I'm adding these friends and they accept my friendship and I send them a message to introduce myself and say, thank you so much for being a part of my community here on social media, I look forward to seeing your positivity in my timeline. So I'm already letting them know, like, I'm not here for the BS. If you're in here complaining, the world is over and can't nothing go right in my life, you probably won't stay my friend for long, or I will just unfollow you. So you can still see my things, but I'm not going to see your things. I like my timeline on all my social medias to be positive, to be uplifting, and to be furthering my thought process, not bringing negativity in me. I have control of what I see on a daily basis on my social media. So add you as a friend, I send you a message, and now you will go on my list of my one. I can add you. I'm refreshing my list every day because every day I'm adding new friends. Every day I'm talking to new people on social media. Then that's number 1. Whew, just in 1 week. The one thing you're going to do on week 3 is create your list. 100 people. And then you're going to segment that list. And then you're going to be revisiting. So if you create it on Monday, there'll be new people you'll be adding to it on Wednesday. If you're having conversations with people, not about your business, but you're just talking to people, because business is conversation. And people will tell you everything you need to know if what you have to offer them, a product or service, fits into their lifestyle, because you're just talking to them. And I guess more so I could say not just talking to them, you're having a conversation, because when you're just talking to them, it's not really a conversation, it's not a back and forth. We want to have conversations that are back and forth. Now, number 2, what else are we going to do this week on week 3? We're going to reaching out with purpose. We're going to reach out to this list with purpose. What does that look like? Well, the first thing you're going to do when you're reaching out with purpose is making a clear introduction. We're not going into our whole life story and how you need to be a part of what I'm doing. You need my product. You need the service I'm offering. That is not what we're doing. We're reaching out with purpose and we're crafting a clear introduction. So a simple message, what you're doing and why you thought of them. Be brief and genuine. What you're doing and why you thought of them. So one of the things that I sometimes use routinely, and of course it'll differ depending on who I'm talking to, but I say, hey girlfriend, it's been so long, I can't believe such and such and such, whatever I see on their timeline, whatever I've seen on their, if I haven't seen anything because this is a text message and I don't know what their social media looks like, I'll just say, hey, I'm going through my phone, I'm catching up with people I haven't talked to in a while. I hope, like, how are things going? End it with that question. Always, this is how a conversation is able to continue. When you end it with a question mark, they have a reason to respond. Give them a reason to respond. End with a question. All right. Now, one thing I will say is, hey, I'm on a mission to educate. This is what works for my business and the product and the service that I offer, because I offer both a product and a service. I sell a product, but the service I offer is the community that I've built of positive women in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico and Guam. And that community offers mindset training. That community offers sales training. That community offers, we even put crock pot meals in our community, so that, because we have lots of women who are mothers and they're trying to figure out how to make extra money, maintain their household, work their full-time jobs, and all the things. And part of that, all the things, is feeding the people that you brought into this world, your children, okay? And so we even share things like crock pot meals that, hey, listen, put this in on Sunday, it'll feed them on Monday. Put this in on Tuesday, this will feed them on Tuesday. The Wednesday, they can eat the leftovers or whatever's left on Monday and Tuesday, all right? So just different things that we help the women, mind, body, and soul, that helps us all become better business owners. So we're going to, one of the things that continue what I say is, I'm on a mission to educate as many women as possible about what I do. Can I share a short video with you? That's 5 minutes or less. And then they'll say, sure. And I send it to them. And then the video that I send them, I'll say, shoot me a heart once you've watched it. Then they send me a heart. And then after they send me a heart, I say, what did you like best about what you saw? And they're going to tell me what they liked best about what they saw. And then I'll say to them, on a scale to 1 to 10, where would you say you are with wanting to try this out? Give it a go. And they give me a number. And then I'll say, we'll go on from there. Now, if you want more than that, then you probably should be a part of my community. All right. And if you want information about my community, all you got to do is give me a text, 651-505-2883, and send me the word community. Okay. And we can see if you're a good fit, because everybody doesn't get into the community. I have to be ready mentally, body, and soul to be able to give you what you need. So it has to be reciprocated. All right. So then we're going to show interest in their needs. Show interest in their needs. So you're going to tailor our outreach to align with each person's potential interests, such as flexibility, their financial freedom, or style. This is why the segmented list is important, because if you have them segmented by they appear based on your perspective to be financially okay, then you might be offering them the tax write-off or whatever it is your product or service is for people who appear to be financially stable. Then you might be offering something different for those who seem to be really busy. Like, I love really busy people. There are women who are like, oh my gosh, I am so busy. I'm like, great, because for my product and what I offer, I need busy people. Because guess what busy people are always around? Other people. Someone who has plenty of time on their hand, who sits up at home all day and sees nobody, is probably not a good fit for my business, because who are they going to share their product with? Who are they going to share their service with? The four walls that they're looking at all day? I want busy people who are always out with their kids, who are always traveling for their business or for their career job. They're perfect. And I can show you how what I have to offer fits into that. Now, that's what you needed to be able to determine too when you segment your list and be able to show interest in their needs. Now, this is why business is conversation, and you ask them questions. When you're catching up and you say, girl, what's been going on? And they say, oh, I've been so busy. You don't just stop there and say, oh, well, I'm on a mission to educate as many people. No, you follow with a question. You've been so busy doing what, girl? Or I've been busy too, honey. Tell me what's keeping you so busy these days. And she says, well, this, and this has been keeping me so busy. Girl, how do you do all that? Does that interfere with your business? Or does that interfere with your career? Are you still a teacher? Are you still doing? And they be like, girl, no, I don't do it anymore. Well, what is it that you're doing? Oh, I've moved into nursing. Really? So you're able to do your children and nursing? How's that going for you? Conversations. And then I can say, well, you know what? Listen to what you're saying. I'm actually on a mission to educate women just like you who have busy lifestyles and are looking for something just for themselves. She might be like, I'm so busy, I don't have time to do things for myself. Oh, is that right? Because she told you this. This is how you're able to show interest in their needs, because you had a conversation, you asked them questions, they responded, and those answers let you know how you can help them. Part 3 of reaching out with a purpose is respect their response. Ooh, where's my T at? That's the T right there. We are always going to respect everybody's response. Not everyone will be interested, and that is okay. Now, if you want to know, because I'm not going to go into that detail right now, but if you want to know how to respond to someone that's not interested, you can go to this book right here. Now, I think I just looked at, I think it's around page 99. Let me see. Because it had this has scripts in here too. It has perfect scripts. And as you use scripts that are already outlined to tell you, you'll learn over time, which is why this is 52 weeks. Because imagine learning this script at week 3. And then you continue week 4, adding on, week 5, adding on. By week 25, you'll know how to adapt that script for any and everybody. This is why this is not a race. This is why it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. This is why I'm not being unrealistic and saying, oh, this is going to happen every day. No. This is going to happen over time. So stick around with me for these 52 weeks. And if you want to be able to read what next week is week 4. If you want to be able to read what week 4 is about before I come here next Tuesday, then text me the number 52 to 651-505-2883, and I'll send you the 52 weeks. Now, do I have everything outlined in there? No, but I'm going to tell you which book you're going to get the information from and what you should be looking for in the book for week 4. So this requires work on your half. Because if I do all the work for you, then it's not going to be retained. You're not going to learn. It's the educator in me. I am trying to help you help yourself. Okay? So let me see if I can find where he talked about what you're going to say to somebody who says, I'm not interested. I think it's, here's right here. He says, so on week 2, the number was 651 505 2883. 651 505 2883. And just text me the number 5252, which is for the 52 weeks. And I will respond back to you with your next steps to get the 52 weeks. All right. So, let me go back. What I was talking about. Okay. Respect their response. This is part 2 of creating your list. Respecting their response. Everyone's not going to be interested. But he tells you right here what you can say to somebody who's not interested. He says, I'm just flat out not interested. That's what somebody's going to say. Listen, girl, I'm glad you went in. I'm not interested. Then you can respond back and you say, I'm sure glad, I'm just going to read it right here. I'm sure glad you said that because this business is specifically designed for uninterested people. You see, even though you have no interest at all in what we do or what we offer, I can assure you that you know quite a few people who are interested that you can introduce me to. Now, you can remain without interest all along the way, but I will teach some of those people how to market this business. And as they are generating revenue for our company, the company will keep sending all of those override checks to your home while you are sitting there being uninterested. So let's get you set up. Point me to some people you know, and I will take it from there. Could you imagine how people who are not interested in your service, who are not interested in your product, and how many people they know that would be interested? So we're not just going to cut that person off and say, block, you're not interested. No, we're going to tell them how, with their uninterested selves, they can help us. The number over here is up at the top. I posted it in the thing. What is that thing called? The introduction. It's up there. But it's 651 505 2883. And anybody can post that in the comments. It's not hidden information because you get crazy texting me, I'll just block you. And you got to text me the number 52 to get the information. Okay. Now, that is week 3. 2 things we're doing. So far, we're creating our list. I gave you 3 points of what to do with this list. Then we're reaching out with a purpose. I gave you 3 points of what you're going to reach out with them with. And last but not least is utilizing social media and events. Utilizing social media and events. All right. Here's the things you're going to do. You're going to engage consistently online. Whatever product or whatever service that you offer, you are going to engage consistently online. What does that look like? You're going to post about your journey. If you have a product and you have a service and you are on here listening to this today, your people who follow you should know about that. They should know that you don't just wake up every day and never learn anything. Part of the process of being a growing business owner is that you are constantly learning and growing. So every time you learn something, share it with your audience. Share it with the people who follow you on social media. I am so glad that I am part of this community. I am so glad that I started this business because before I would have never done. Now, professional development and professional learning is something that is ingrained in me as a teacher. Let professional develop us and keep us in training. All right. People feel like our summers are free. No, we're learning. Any decent educator is learning something over the summertime because things are constantly changing. You feel like social media is changing, so is the schoolhouse. Now, it used to be just AB, but the children are changing. And so the way that we teach English, math, science, and social studies has to change with the times. The way we taught it was taught to me is not going to work for these kids who have devices in their hands all day. Okay? So we have to adapt and learn things. The same is true for your business. And these are things you would share with your following. You will go live with enthusiasm and not just share your product, but share what your product is doing for you. Not just sharing your service, but sharing what the service is doing for you and for others. I love that like for me, example, I'm a multi six-figure earner, but I didn't, when I came in here, when I started this business 12 years ago, I was trying to make an extra $1,000 a month, an extra $333 a week. But the beautiful thing was it provided me the opportunity to be in rooms with people who were 6 and 7-figure earners. So things that I didn't think that I was capable of doing, I was sitting around women who are like me. They're regular women like me. And I was like, if they can do it, I can too. That is what is providing me. Do people know that? Not unless I share it. And so those are things that need to be shared. You keep your network aware of your business, not just a product. People like to be a part of something that gives them more than they would have gotten otherwise. So like we choose our grocery stores based on a certain reason. My husband likes Kroger, not I. I like Publix. And why do I like Publix? Is it because the Prego spaghetti sauce tastes different in Publix and Kroger? No. Is it because the spaghetti noodles are different in Kroger than they are in Publix? No. It is the community, I feel. It is the lighting that is different. Publix lighting is lighter. Kroger lighting is dingy. But there are people who go to Kroger who don't even notice. I do. I know when I go to Kroger, when I go to Publix, there will never be a long line. If there is, they're calling somebody. I don't care if it's from the bakery, if it's from the if it's a stocker in the back, somebody's coming up to make that line shorter. It might even be the manager. Kroger, I don't think I've ever seen the store manager, which I know what he looks like. I don't think I've ever seen him on the register. He don't care how long that line get. He's not doing the register. But at Publix, they will. And they will do it with a smile. This is the difference between you getting new customers and you getting new consultants and you getting new business partners than someone else. Because what are you offering them or what are you sharing with them outside of your product and service? So you make your list. You reach out with a purpose. Then now they are following you because they weren't paying attention to what you were doing with your life before, but you reached out to say that you're on a mission to educate as many women as possible about what you do. But then they see your Facebook post or your TikTok post or your Instagram post and all you're like, oh, the world is horrible. I can't get ahead. Now, the person who may have been, they told you no, but they were interested enough to go see what you're doing with your life. Do you think they are going to change their mind and now be interested in what you're sharing if they go to your page and all it is doom and gloom? This is so hard. The customers aren't paying their invoice. I don't know how I'm going to make my rent. Is that going to make somebody want to? No. And I'm not saying lie, but you may have woke up this morning and you may have been like, oh my gosh, today is just going, it's not for me. It is not sunny outside. It's a gloomy day today. But I came in here today and I'm excited now because there are people here who are listening, who are taking notes, who are texting me the number 52 to 651-505-2883 to get my 52 weeks. And that turned my day around. Although I was already having a good day. But it brought it up to a whole nother level. I could share that with my community. And somebody's going to be like, man, I need to be a part of that community and have something that can change my day around so early in the morning. Then leverage in-person opportunities. All right. What is leverage? This is how we're going to use social media and events. Use family gatherings. Oh, what family gathering do we have coming up? If you're watching this now, we know that we're near Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. But there's always a family gathering. If you got family, there's always a family gathering coming up. There's a cookout. There's a barbecue. There's a Super Bowl coming up. There is a birthday party. There's an anniversary. There's always a family gathering. Leverage those. I recently, because I was a teacher, and I always said it doesn't matter how much money I make. I always said I would never let my certification expire. Guess what I did? I was 6 months too late. My certification has expired. So I have to take a test. There's a lot of different options I could do to renew my certification. I could go back to school. I'm not paying for that. I could go to some classes that it's not considered school, but it's like professional learning classes in person. I'm not doing that either. I'm actually good at test taking, so I'm taking the test taking option. All right, so it's like $200. 5-hour, 2 tests. I'm going to go take the test. So I decided I'm going to go get, be a substitute to just, for it is actually going to serve a lot of different purposes. One, I homeschool my daughter, so I like to, keep my ear to the streets, to the schoolhouse, and see what they got going on in there. I'm still in a lot of teacher social media groups, and boy, are they complaining. Like I don't know what school gonna have teachers left when January comes, because they are saying they are out. Teachers are disgruntled. I want to go see if it's really that bad. Okay, I want to go see for myself. Is it really as bad as all these educators are swearing is? Because they swear it is for this. It's horrible right now. Then guess what I'm walking in with when I go? Not a computer bag. I'm walking in with my jewelry bag. So my laptop, my cell phone is going to be inside of my jewelry bag. Because my jewelry bag, I don't have it sitting close enough to grab, but it has clear pockets and it's going to have jewelry on it. And so it's like I'm getting paid to advertise. They're going to pay me to be a substitute. And while I'm in there, I'm advertising to teachers who don't want to be there, who need extra money. Like it's a win all the way across. So I was like, people are going to ask me, like, because I used to be assistant principal in the same system, like, are you coming back to teach? I'm going to have to try to keep from cussing when I go in there. There's no way you would catch me being a full-time teacher never. I don't care how bad life gets, although life is not bad now, but never. But it will serve a lot of purposes and help the community because they always have substitute positions open. So it'll serve a lot of different purposes by doing it. But this goes with utilizing social media and events. People think events, like you have to have a party, but me going inside of a school with teachers based on the product that I share is an event. I am going to be surrounded by my target market, and I'm going to walk in happy every day. Like there's literally nothing that can happen while I'm substituting that's going to change, because guess what? I got to come back. If I have one bad day, I never have to pick up that classroom again. If I have one bad student, I have no problem calling somebody to come get them. No. So I will go in happy and I will leave there happy. And the right teacher will be attracted to that. Now, are there going to be some teachers going to be like, happy? Yes, that's not my people. Okay? So this is true for you. Leverage everywhere you go. Casually talk about your business in a natural way. Now, I know you probably will gonna listen to this. I'm an introvert. I don't necessarily like talking to people. I like talking to, not small talk. Now, if I'm teaching, if it's for a purpose, like ask you a question, you answer it, those kind of things, great. But just, hey, how the kids, like just naturally, it's not naturally who I am, right? And it is draining for me. So if I do a whole day of it, like I need to come home and decompress. All right. And don't touch me. Don't talk to me. Like, let me come down. So my natural way of doing it is carrying around a bag that starts the conversation for me. Okay. A bag of jewelry starts the conversation for me. Somebody is going to ask about it. Somebody's going to say something. Somebody's going to say, oh, is that your product? They always ask that. All right. So whatever product or service that you have, do the same in a way that natural conversations can happen. Everywhere you go, you naturally, in a natural, casual way, talk about your business. People say, you're going to a family, you haven't been around family around, girl, what's been going on with you? Oh my, it's not, oh, everything okay. No, it's like, girl, you know what? Did you want to sell jewelry? I've been having so much fun doing that. Natural and casual. They asked you what's been going on. So you naturally and casually bring up your business. And if they don't jump on and say, oh, tell me more, you like, can I share my page with you? Can I connect with you on social media? You take the next step. They asked you. All right. Then the last thing, follow up quickly. After each conversation, which I just gave you a tip right there. After each conversation or interaction, follow up with a thank you message or invite them to learn more. So when you leave the event, the grocery store is an event. All right, I don't know about you, but me going to a grocery store during a week after work, I try to avoid because I have time freedom. I make my own hours. I try to avoid going to the grocery store during the week after work because I don't know if y'all noticed, but y'all angry. After work, y'all not happy. You pissed and you don't want to let anybody in front of you in line when you're driving. And I say, I don't have any rush. So I'd be like, girl, go ahead. I know you ain't like your job today. You didn't like the people you work with. You got an attitude. All you're trying to do is go ahead. You can get in. So I try to avoid going to the grocery store, the events of grocery shopping at those times. I prefer going during a weekday, during the daytime. Me and the retirees. I like shopping with them. And then I have a 4-year-old too. So she goes to the grocery store with me, and the retirees love little kids, okay? And my daughter loves the attention, all right? She will talk to the retirees. So it's a great experience for us, all right? But no matter when you go to the grocery store, it's an event. So when you are talking to somebody, like at the grocery store, when they are putting things on the conveyor belt, what's conveyor belt? What's it called? I can't think what it's called, but I know what I'm talking about. All right, you're checking out somebody in front of you, put something on there, and it's like meat, salami. You've never seen it. You're like, you know what? I've always wondered, what are you going to use that to cook with? Now, if they look at you and they don't want to talk to you, don't even worry about it. Like, you have to do a follow-up. But they're like, oh my goodness, yes, I use this for such and such and such and such. Would you like the recipe? Yes, I would. Follow up afterwards, okay? Then afterwards, you say, thank you so much for that recipe. I actually made it, or thank you for taking the time. People are so short these days. I appreciate follow up. Family, all right? You make it. I have my phone with me everywhere I go. So even with family, my uncle is doing the Thanksgiving this year, and he left a message yesterday and said, can you, because everybody asked for my red velvet cake. So he's like, can you bring the red velvet cake? Of course I can, okay? So while I'm there, there's going to be somebody who hasn't been around the family in a while, and they're going to ask me what I've been up to, and I'm going to put a message in my phone to remind me in 24 to 48 hours. Like, I have an alarm going off today at 7 o'clock. I got to follow with somebody that I met at here's an example right here. I went to my best friend's mom birthday party. She turned 70. All right. And while we were there, I ended up in the bathroom with one of my high school friends' mom. And she didn't remember who I was. So she said something. I started talking. I was like, you remember you catered my wedding, my first wedding? I was like, I'm divorced now. She's like, she's like, she asked me, what's your name? I said, well, it was Christy Waller in high school. Then it was Christy Crump. And now it's Christy Farmer. And that's the last one. And she started laughing. She's like, girl, don't even worry about it, because I've been married 5 times. So she ain't worried about it. I've only been married 2 and we're done for sure. I did it right this time. And I said, yeah, you catered my first wedding. She was like, oh my gosh, you got married here and you did it. I was like, yes. She said, so what are you doing now? And I was like, well, I sell accessories and I've been doing it. She's like, no, she said, you were a teacher, right? I said, yeah, what? This is in the bathroom at my best friend's mom's 70th birthday. This happens in real life, okay? Just happened this past weekend. And she says, you were a teacher, right? You lived overseas and taught overseas? I said, yes, I've been back for I had to do the math. My daughter's in 12th grade. She was in 3rd grade. So I've been back for 9 years now. And she said, so what are you doing now? And I said, well, I sell accessories full time for the last 6 years. She's like, oh, jewelry? I was like, yeah, it's Paparazzi Scissors. You ever heard of it? She said, yes, my friend. And she started naming other people. I said, well, they're probably part of my team. I have over 100,000 consultants in all 50 states. And honestly, if they're African American, there's a more than 70% chance they're probably part of my team. And she's like, wow, that is amazing. You go, girl. So we walked out the bathroom. And we went about our way. She stopped me later and she was like, I want to introduce you to my friend. I was just telling her about you and she was interested in the business. Well, is that right? So I gave her my contact information. I called her yesterday because this happened on Saturday. And I called her on yesterday, which would have been Monday. And she said, give her a call back because she's on the other line. Give her a call back today. And I said, same time. She said, yep, same time. So I set my alarm. It's going to go off at 7 o'clock for me to call her back. Every place you go is an event, and every place you go, you can share with people casually about what you do. And everywhere you go, you can make connections. And she happened to be interested, but if she wasn't, what I just read, she knows 100 people, and I could use her network. All right, that's week 3. So just to recap. So far, in this 52 weeks, can you see just in week 3, if you're doing this in week 3, week 4, and it becomes a natural habit for you where your business could be by week 52? Girl, stick around. I'll see you back here next Tuesday, same time, same place. And week 1, just a reminder, if you missed it, it's over on YouTube already uploaded. I haven't uploaded week 2, but it's coming. Week 1 is building the foundation, finding your purpose. Week 2 is your why. And I'll break down how to find out your why. And the why, let me tell you what book that comes. The why comes from Building an Empire. So from this book, if you need step-by-step on how to get your why, you'll use this book as a understanding. So understanding your why. Week 2, was going through my notes here. What it takes to build a business. All right. That came from get over your damn self as the backdrop to the points to build that, go more, a little bit more in depth. And then this week was creating your list, the act of prospecting. Now, a heads up, week 4, next week is going to be overcoming your fear and your doubt. Ooh, that's going to be the tea. Overcoming your fear and doubt. That is next week, week 4. Now, if you want me to email you the outline of all 52 weeks, so you can go ahead and jump ahead. Or if you've been in business for a while and you're like, I'm fear and doubt, which you never get over fear and doubt. What you do is you realize strategies and resources to help you get past that stuck point. All right. You learn how to use your fear and your doubt for you instead of against you. Now, if you want all 52 weeks, you can text me at 651-505-2883. Text the number 52. If you text anything else, it'd be a while. It might be a little bit before I get back to you. But if you text 52, you'll automatically get a response and I'll tell you what to do next. All right. I thank you so much for allowing me to help you change your life, change your mindset, change your habits,